Hey everyone and welcome to the club. Today I'll be showing you how to draw Tyranitar from Pokemon. We're going to be drawing the character with its head turned towards the left. So let's start with the eye first. We're going to draw the upper eyelid. Starting from the inside, we're going to draw a curve going up and out towards the right. From here we're going to step down and we're going to step up from the bottom point just so we leave a little overlap and draw a straight line across. And then from here we're going to curve up underneath the eyelid. At the front, we're going to draw in the pupil, so we just want to draw a little curve from the front, from the bottom going up. We draw another curve just to leave a little bit of a white highlight at the front here. Color the backside in black. Now we want to go in and draw in the profile of the head. So we're going to start at the front here, drawing a curve from the beak, from the tip going up with a slight curve. Now we're going to work our way up along the eyelid over towards the first spike. Starting from the top, curving up, and just bending it over towards the right. We want to curve this back in, so coming down and over towards the left. We're going to do a slight overlap and draw on the second spike. Going up, curving over and down, and we curve that back in. Let's draw one more. So we're going to step up from that point and curve it downwards towards the right. Now we're going to bring that right back in with another curve to right about here. Let's draw that one main spike along the top. So we're going to start just directly above the eye, curve up above the first spike. Up, then out. We're going to curve that back in behind the second spike. So we're going to have to go in behind this first spike. So curving it down and then in between. Let's go back to the front and draw in the mouth. So from this point here, we're going to curve across. A slight curve going across like this. Now we want to curve out towards the right. So we're going to come down along the side of the mouth, bring down to right about there. We're going to do a little bit of an overlap and curve to the bottom of the jaw. So stepping up, curving down, and then over towards the left. We're going to go back up towards the top. We're just going to step in from the beak, curving in, and then down toward the bottom of the mouth. Now just at the bottom here, we want to curve up in the opposite direction towards the top with the tongue. Right in this little space here, we're just going to draw a little angled line for the nostril. Let's tuck in some fangs underneath the mouth. So at the front point here, we're going to draw a V. We're going to move to the inside of the mouth and draw another V. Along the bottom, we're going to add two more fangs. So from the corner, we're going to go up in an angle and then back in. Do that one more time. Right inside the mouth, go out and then back in. Along the bottom point of the mouth, we're just going to curve across towards the right for the bottom of the chin. Now that we got the head, we're going to work our way down the body. So we're going to start with the upper part of the chest first. So about halfway along this curve, we're going to come down along the body. So going out and then down towards the left. From this point here, we're going to go in the opposite direction, going up towards the same height as we have on the left here. So we're going to curve out and then bring that down to the same height. Now we're going to curve these up and in. Starting on the left side, we'll curve up. The same thing on the right side. Now we're going to curve back down again. So starting on the left, curving down. Do the same on the right. We're going to take these 2 points and curve up towards the middle of the chest. So on the left side, we'll curve up and in, right towards the middle. We're going to curve down towards this right side. Now we're going to add that big opening in the center of the chest. So from these 2 points, we're going to step up and curve down towards a center point. Starting on the left side right here, we're going to curve down and then pull that in. We're going to go back up on the right side in the opposite direction. Now we're going to add some curved lines across this area here. Starting from the bottom, from left to right, we'll curve down and then up on the right. We're going to step up, the same thing, and then one final time, right up here, we'll curve across. Now we're just going to add those little openings on the side of the chest here. So starting at the top, just below the chin, we're going to curve down and then in. Now we're going to curve back across towards the outside of the body. We'll do the same thing on the right side. So lining up the center point right here, we're going to curve up and out towards the right. Going back to the center, curve down and towards the right. We want to add a little bit of trim along the top. So we're going to take this curve and just duplicate it right below it. And we'll fill in the bottom area in black. do the same thing on the right. So just following that same trim, same curve across, coloring the bottom area in black. Now we're going to add a smaller opening just below here. So we're going to follow the same curve just below, going across and in. We're going to take this point and curve it down. Now we just want to connect those 2 points with a curve. Now, like we did with the top here, we're just going to add a little trim. So following that same curve along the bottom, filling the bottom area in black. Let's do the same thing on the right side. So just following that same curve, starting from the inside, to right about there. Going back to the top, we'll curve down towards the right, connecting those 2 points with a curve. I'm going to add that same trim just below, just drawing a curve across, and then filling the bottom area in black. Now we're going to go in and just tuck the arms in beside the chest. So we're going to start right at the bottom of the chin, curving out and then down. Towards the tip of the hand, we're going to curve back in the opposite direction in behind the chest. I'm going to leave a little bit of an overlap on the inside right here. We're going to do the same thing on the right side. Lining up the top of the arm, curve down, and then out. We're going to round it out and then pull that back in. Let's go back to the left side and draw in the fingers. So right here, we draw a little curve. From the ends of the curve, we're just going to draw 2 angled lines going in towards a point. Now we're going to add 2 more claws on the ends. So on the top, just go out, pull that back in. Do the same thing along the bottom. We're going to add some stripes along the arm. So just beside that claw, right up here, we curve across from top to bottom. We'll step over and draw the same thing. Let's go to the right side and do the same. So starting right in here, start with that little curve for the socket. Take the 2 ends and come in towards a point. Now we're going to add the claws on the end, starting from the bottom and then along the top. We're going to add those 2 stripes this way. Starting from the top, we'll curve around to the bottom, move up, curve this in beside the chest. Now we're going to add a couple spikes behind the shoulders. So right up here on the top of the arm, we're going to go out with a straight line. Now we're going to taper that back in, right behind the arm. We're going to draw a shorter one right beside it, going up in an angle, and then pulling that back down. We're going to take that and flip it over on the right side. Starting just down beside the chest here, go up in an angle, pull that back in. We'll draw one smaller one, going up, and then back down. Let's continue down with the lower part of the body. So from the ends here of the chest, we're going to step in and just draw a curve for the side of the hips. So on the left side, we'll step over towards the right, curve down, and just kind of outwards. We'll do the same thing on the right, curving out and then down towards the same height. We're going to draw the sockets for the legs. We're going to curve in and then down towards the bottom of the lower torso. Starting on the left side, we'll curve in and pull it down. Go to the right and do the same thing. So curving in and then down. Now we're just going to connect those 2 points with a curve. Let's move back toward the left side and draw in this leg. So we're going to start from this corner of the hip. We're going to curve it down and out. We're going to overlap that line. On the outside, we're going to curve in towards this bottom point here. So stepping out, a little bit of an overlap. We'll curve down towards the inside. Now we're drawing the outside part of the leg. So starting at the top here, curve it out, and then pull that back in. On the inside, we're going to go in the opposite direction towards the same height. Curving down and in. We're going to connect those 2 points with a curve that goes up in the middle and then back down. Let's do the same thing on the right side. From the corner of the hip, curve down. Now from here, we're going to overlap that end of the line. Curving up and slightly over. Take these 2 points and curve around the sides of the leg. Starting with the inside, curve down and in. On the right, we'll curve out and pull that down towards the same height. Now we're going to close off the bottom with a curve. Going back to the left side, we're going to draw in this foot. So from these 2 corners, we're just going to step in and draw a curve going towards the bottom of the foot. So from this corner, we're going to step over towards the right, curve down and in. We'll do the same thing on the right side. Now we're going to overlap the foot in behind the leg. So from this corner, we're going to step back, up, curve down. On the right, we'll do the same thing, curving down. Now we're going to curve these back up for the first claw. So curving inwards. Do the same thing with the right side. Now we're going to draw on the second toe. From here, we're going to draw 2 lines going across, 2 short lines. We draw the little socket. So from this point on the left, we'll curve up and then down. Now from these ends, these little points right here, we're going to draw the toes on the side. So from this corner, we're going to curve across towards the left. We'll curve across towards the right. Now from these 2 corners, we're just going to draw a big V, going down in the middle and then back up. We're going to do the same thing on the right side. So we're going to step in from the corners, drawing a curve going in towards the foot. Now on the left side, we're going to step up, curving down. On the right, we'll curve down. We're going to pull these back up to create that little claw. Draw 2 short lines coming in towards the middle. Now we draw that little half circle for the socket. On those little ends right there, we're going to draw a curve going in towards the left, and then out towards the right. And then from the center points, we're going to come down towards the middle for the middle claw. Now let's add in the openings on the legs, just like we did with the chest area. We're going to start on the left side. On the side of the leg, we're going to curve across and then in. We're going to pull that back out towards the outside of the leg. Now I want to add that same little trim, so taking that curve and just duplicating it right below it, and then filling the bottom area in black. We're going to do another one just below here. So we're going to leave a little gap, curving in. Then we're going to curve back out towards the outside of the leg. We're going to add that little trim along the top, and then fill the bottom area in black. Let's do the same thing on the right side. So leaving that gap at the top, we'll curve down and in, curve it back towards the outside of the leg. We're going to add that trim along the top, and then fill the bottom area in black. Let's move down and do the same thing. So we're going to leave the same amount of gap, curving out. From the tip, we'll curve down and out. Add that little trim, and then fill the bottom area in black. Now we're just going to finish this off with the tail. We're going to have it sweeping over towards the left side. So this bottom curve is going to connect with the tail. So it's going to go in behind the leg, starting right here, and curve up. We're going to draw 3 little spikes on the end of the tail. So from this point, we're going to curve out. Now we want to draw on the outside upper part of the tail. So from this point, we're going to step over and just taper out in behind the body. Now we're going to take that curve and just flip it over. Right here, we're going to curve up, just beside the hand. We're going to curve in towards the center, leaving a gap. I'm going to take these 2 points and curve up towards the center point. Now we're going to draw the tip of the tail. So right beside this point right here, we're going to step over and then just curve up towards the tip. We'll curve that back down. And then we're going to add a little trim on the end of the tail, just curving across like that. And that's pretty much it. There we have it. There's Tyranitar from Pokemon. I hope you enjoyed today's lesson. Make sure you subscribe and send us your requests in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again soon.